Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your latest Manchester United news. Plenty to talk about today. We've just had some breaking news from Fabrizio Romano about 2.5 minutes ago that Rasmus Hojlund has signed his deal with Manchester United. So we're going to talk about that. We're of course going to talk about the takeover as well of Manchester United. The sale is back on, according to numerous outlets. And we're going to talk about ins and outs in terms of the transfer window as usual. Get your thoughts and comments into the comment section below. Let's get right into it. But yeah, we're going to start nowhere else, guys, with Rasmus Hojlund. Please do smash a like on the video before we go any further. If you haven't already done so, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. On the road to 4,000 subscribers. Really do appreciate it. But yeah, as you can see on the screen here, anybody watching on TikTok, get over to YouTube. We've got all of the articles up on the screen here. Link is on my homepage. Come over there and check it all out. But Fabrizio Romano tweeting what? Just under 5 minutes ago, Rasmus Hojlund has just signed his 5-year contract with an option for a further year as a new Manchester United player. Done, sealed. Rasmus Hojlund is a Manchester United player. Happy days. Now, again, obviously, we haven't got the official, I suppose, confirmation from the club yet. But look, it's all done and dusted, supposedly. And we know Fabrizio Romano, he's pretty spot on with these kind of things. I mean, by the sounds of this, he's probably in the bloody room while Rasmus Hojlund is signing the deal. But look, happy days. We knew nothing was going to really be an issue. We knew it was going to be done and dusted as quickly as possible. And of course, we want him, you know, as quickly as possible. We would like to see him get some preseason game time, as we keep saying. I have a slight suspicion that Manchester United will unveil him live on Saturday at Old Trafford. I have a feeling a kind of a Casemiro kind of unveiling like we done last year. He'd be out on the pitch at halftime or before the game waving at fans. So I reckon that's probably what's going to happen. I think it's probably what should happen. I mean, I'm all for these kind of things. I have to say, let's not, you know, get away from the fact that it's going to be a preseason game and we want to win, and you know that's what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, look, it's okay to get a bit of fanfare, get us excited for the start of the season, get him out onto the pitch at Old Trafford with a shirt in his hand waving and all of that kind of stuff. But a lot of reports throughout the day. I was listening to Rio Ferdinand on TalkSport, and look, he said he is going to need time and he's not going to, there shouldn't be too much pressure coming on top of him. And I tend to agree with him, I have to say. I've been saying it for a few days now, and I think, you know, the chances of him starting, and we're already seeing this lazy journalism out of the likes of Sky Sports, you know, doing comparisons between Højlund and Haaland, just because they've got blonde hair and their name sounds the same and they're, you know, Scandinavian. It's annoying me. It really is, because Rasmus Hojlund is not Erling Haaland. You know, he's not as good as him. Now, look, potential is there. You know, will he ever get to that height? Who knows? I mean, what did Haaland score? Did he score close to 50 goals last season? I don't know, but I think it's unfair, and I don't think it should be done by these so-called unbiased media outlets. You know, it's just not fair. You're putting pressure on a player that there's no need to be putting on him. He's not going to score the same amount of goals as Haaland, but I'm really happy with him, and I think he's going to be a very good player. I do think we're going to need to give him time. You know, we are going to need to give him time to settle in, to get to know his teammates, to get to know the style of play that Erik ten Hag wants, to be able to deal with the pressure of being not just a Manchester United player, but being Manchester United's number 9. And pretty much Manchester United's main number 9. Now, I don't think he's going to be the main number 9 throughout the entirety of the season. I think there are going to be maybe spells throughout the season where Ten Hag will leave him out and play Rashford through the middle or play Anthony Martial and take a bit of the pressure off him. Because, look, he might be 20 years of age and he might be full of, I suppose, he's full of hunger and full of desire, wanting to make a name for himself. But it does have to be managed properly, you know. We see an awful lot where players are given too much too quick, And look, we know not. I don't mean in terms of money, because we all know they get too much too quick in that sense. But in terms of game time, sometimes players can get too much game time at too young an age. Now, look, we you know, I won't lie, I didn't see an awful lot of Rasmus Hojlund, you know, up until we were linked with him. You know, I won't lie, but I do think that he has got the potential to be a very successful player for Manchester United, and I think from a fan perspective and a Manchester United fan perspective, I think it's very, very important that we don't criticize him too quickly, you know, because he's going to get enough of that with opposition fans, you know, Liverpool fans, Man City fans, Arsenal fans. They're all going to be jumping on the bandwagon in terms of criticizing him, like we done with Darwin Núñez last year. You know, 100 million. We were all laughing at him when he was missing chances. So it's important as Manchester United fans that we stick behind him, you would have to say. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Aaron is in. Good to see you. Party Pooper is there as well. Aaron says, do you think he could play a few minutes in either of the games the weekend? Yeah, look, I think if we unveil him on Saturday, I think he could potentially play Sunday. I don't see why he wouldn't. I think he is. Now, he probably wouldn't start the game because if he signs his contract today, he trains tomorrow, I would presume. I don't see why he wouldn't train tomorrow if, you know, okay, Manchester United will want all of the PR and the, you know, the social media videos coming out tomorrow. But I don't think Eric Ten Hag will really care about all of that stuff. You go, right, is he signed? Is he now officially a Man United player? Yeah, okay, well, he's bloody training tomorrow morning because I want him for Sunday. I would love to see him Sunday, of course, because, you know, I'm going to the game. So let's see what happens. Party Pooper says, do you think we'll see any first-team players in the Viva on Sunday, or will they all be at Old Trafford on Saturday? I have, I've been reading about it and trying to find out some details on that. And supposedly it is going to be a hybrid in both games. We're going to see some first-team players in both games, and we're going to see some fringe players and maybe some academy players in each game as well. So, like, we're not going to get, you know, the best 16 players of Manchester United playing in the Aviva on Sunday, as much as I would love to see that. Don't get me wrong. So, yeah, look, we're probably going to get a hybrid in each game. I'm going to be doing a match day vlog for it. So I will have my GoPro out all day. So if you do see me, come up and say hello. If you want to be in the vlog, come up. We'll ask you some questions, all of that kind of stuff. We'll have a bit of a laugh. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a match day vlog for it. My dad is coming as well with me. He hasn't seen Manchester United live in nearly 23 years. So he's looking forward to that as well. So yeah, it's going to be a great day out. Be in a few pubs between Dublin City Centre and the Aviva Stadium on the way out. So looking forward to it, I have to say. Let's see. Bilal says, what do you make about the Lavia story? Who are we in for, Amrabat or Lavia? Do you think that Amrabat is a smokescreen for Lavia? Yeah, we spoke about it last night. I think it's more than likely that it's going to be Amrabat that we're going for. I think we've seen over a couple of the transfers that we've made already this summer, in terms of even Rasmus Hojlund now and Mason Mount and Onana, that we did have alternatives. And coming to the latter stages, when we're kind of on the brink of maybe putting in a bid, some of these stories have surfaced that we've been linked with other players, and it does tend to maybe jumpstart the negotiations a little bit. So maybe that's the case here as well. First team better show up, says Chris. Blazing says oil money needed ASAP. Aaron says he's young, fit and eager. Get him on the pitch. Let's hope he sets the ball rolling. What a way to gain confidence if he hits the net on Sunday, straight away into the new season with his head up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Party Pooper says, I'll say hello if I see you. I'll say hello back. Let me know it's you, look, because I have had people come up to me in Manchester the few times that I was over there last season, and I watch the channel all the time, and I'd say, what's your name? And they'll tell me their name, but like, say, Party Pooper, I don't know your first name. So, you know, if you come up and say, oh, Jack, it's James. Well, James, how's it going? And then you say Party Pooper, I go, all right. So, you know what I mean? New shirt with your dad? Nope, absolutely not, Chris. The shirt that I am going to be wearing to the game on Sunday is that one. I'm going to be wearing that one because fuck the Glazers. Green and gold. So, yeah, that's the one that I'm going to be wearing on Sunday. Alex says, well, Jack, been a while. Good to see you, Alex. Chris says, Romano says, Amrabat is close to here we go. Bilal says, we will go for that second striker at the end of the window. Will we go for the second striker at the end of the window, or will Eric Ten Hag be happy with just Højlund and Rashford? It is also, or is it also that Greenwood announcement will come, our attacking line? Well, look, I think the Greenwood announcement will tell a lot. In terms of the attacking lineup, you would have to say, I think if the announcement is that Mason Greenwood stays, then of course we're probably not going to go out and get another forward. If he is to go, I think even if Mason Greenwood is to go, I think it would still probably come down to how many sales we can make before we actually go out and buy. Because if we are going out to get Amrabat, we've said that the initial kind of transfer fund, the transfer kitty, covered a goalkeeper, centre mid, and a striker. We've got 3 of them now. Okay, so basically any signings after Rasmus Hojlund are going to have to be funded by sales. Now, the sales don't have to be made before the new signings come in. But of course, the more signings we make, the more players we're going to have to sell. And we're finding it difficult to get players off of the books at the moment. But look, we'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. Katie said, oh my God, not football related. I hate the new Twitter logo. Okay. You're going to the United game in Dublin, says Corey. I certainly am. What is happening on the centre-back incoming? Maguire, McTominay and Henderson leaving United. No real updates on the centre-back. Katie is also says, hey, Jack, maybe you stream the protest on the weekend. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be protests in Dublin. I don't think there's going to be quite honest with you. And Chris says, Greenwood needs to go on loan. I honestly think he needs to go to the Championship to gauge how public in England will take to him. I think he's too good for the Championship, to be honest. Right, let's talk. Let's switch it and let's talk about the Glazers and the takeover of Manchester United. So we heard reports the other day that the takeover was potentially on pause, on hold. The Glazers were digging their heels in. They didn't want to sell on the back of the £900 million Adidas sponsorship deal. Subsequently, then we've heard from Mike Keegan in the Daily Mail yesterday that, in fact, the sale was not on hold and that it's continuing in the background. Reports then carry on today. Glazers remain in talks over Manchester United takeover despite frustrating 9-month investment search. Other reports then, we can see here, Man United bidders ready to finalise takeover with clarification from the Glazers expected ASAP. Now, this is a very broad article headline. Manchester United bidders ready to do what? To finalise takeover with clarification from the Glazers expected as soon as possible. I mean, there's a bunch of nothing in that headline, if you ask me. Bidders are ready to finalise. Well, of course they are. They're waiting on a decision. Clarification from the Glazers expected as soon as possible. Expected as soon as possible makes no sense, in my opinion. Clarification is expected. It's expected from everybody. It's expected from the fans. We expect it as soon as possible. It doesn't mean it's going to happen as soon as possible because the Glazers are dilly-dallying and delaying and not making their mind up. So, look, reports are reports. Anytime over the last few months we've heard these kind of reports coming to the surface, it just tends to die down after maybe a week or two again, and we've seen, the Jim Radcliffe reports early on in May, was it that, he was leading the race? That died down. Then it was Qatar are leading the race. Rio Ferdinand came out and said there's going to be reports tomorrow, and then he got egg on his face when there wasn't. Then that died down, and then it died down for a long time, and now we're hearing these kind of reports coming out again. I don't want. Look, I'm thinking this, and I was listening to Ben Jacobs on the United Stand earlier on, and he did make a lot of sense. I have to say, he was basically saying now that the Glazers haven't made up their mind at this stage. It's basically not going to affect Manchester United until next summer, regardless. So now that's not saying that we don't want him gone as quickly as possible. But basically what he's saying is, if the Glazers make up their mind tomorrow, you're still going to have a 4 to 8 week period before that club is handed over. You can do very limited transfer dealings in January. So basically, in terms of backing the team, in terms of the transfer market, the ownership changing hands is not going to make a huge difference until next summer. Now, we want the Glazers out. Of course we do, as quickly as possible. And we want, an overhaul of Manchester United as quickly as possible. I would want to see the ownership changing hands quickly because, you would hope then by next summer that there is a clear idea of what the new owners want. There's maybe a change of staff members in terms of different competent areas of, maybe transfers, maybe scouting, maybe director of football, all of these kind of areas. So while I agree with Ben Jacobs that it's not going to affect our transfer activity between now and next summer, the ownership changing hands, I do disagree that. I think he wasn't saying he doesn't want it to be done that quickly either. I do think we need to get it done as quickly as possible so we can get a plan in place, people in place to, ideas in place. If Qatar are going to come in and go straight away, we've got plans already set up for an overhaul of Old Trafford and the training facilities. The training facilities are going to be done in 6 months' time. We're going to gut the place and start, and then, we want Old Trafford started by January the 1st, a stake in the ground by January 1st. And then 12 months later, you've got a brand new stadium, whatever it may be. All of these things are important to Manchester United fans. We want the Glazers out. We want a full sale. We want the stadium redeveloped. We want, we want a clear idea of where we're going. We want investment into the training ground, into the playing staff, into recruitment, into scouting, into the women's team, into the underage setup. All of these things are vitally important. So the quicker the Glazers go, the better. Let's see what people are saying here. Let's see. Chris says, #Glazers out. Party Pooper says, this sale has been going on ages. You'd be bored listening to it. You would, wouldn't you? Bilal says, can we see Qatar finally giving in and take that number towards 6 billion mark? What is the Glazers' golden number? 6, 7, 8 billion. Well, I mean, it all depends. I think, as much as it kills me to say, I wouldn't be surprised if other bids did go in. The Glazers are not closed to the fact that, they're not closed to new bids going in. However, we did kind of see Jim Ratcliffe and Qatar say, no, this is our final offer, take it or leave it. And I think you do have to take a stand as well as a buyer from the buyer's side. If Qatar, giving how stern they were back in April when they said, this is our final offer. There's no deadline on when we want you to accept or reject the bid, but we will not be making an improved offer on this. If they were to turn around and renege on what they said there, then I think the Glazers will go, we could potentially have 2 or 3 rounds of bidding left in us here, So I think it is right that Qatar and Jim Ratcliffe are standing their ground. But again, we don't know what kind of minority stakeholders or minority investors are in the background trying to buy in minority share. The Glazers could be working just as closely with them as they are with Qatar or Sir Jim Ratcliffe. We see Jim Ratcliffe and Qatar as the face of the new Manchester United, but the new Manchester United might be the Glazers funded by minority investors, which, frightens the life out of every Manchester United fan. Chris says, last I read was that everyone agreed but Avram Glazer. Yeah, there was reports as well. Let me see, can I find the tweet here? And I'll have a quick look and see, can I find it? I didn't include it in the news here, but let me just scroll down because there are reports suggesting that is the case. Let me just see. No, that was yesterday. Give me 1 second here. Did see a report saying that. Let me just have a quick look. Bear with me. La 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 la. Where is it? Where is it? No, I can't find it. Anyway, yeah. So look, there was one report suggesting that all of the Glazers are open to sell. So open to selling Manchester United. So we know there's 6 of them. You know, Jesus Christ, 6 of them. We know there's 6 of them. And according to recent reports, I can't remember who the report was from. Anyway, basically, all 6 of them are open to sell. However, the stumbling point is with Avram and Joel Glazer getting enough money. It's the money aspect. I think we're past the point of whether they want to sell or not. I think they do want to sell. They just are sticking on the price that they want, which is 6 billion, which we know neither Qatar or Jim Radcliffe got close to, you know, so that's the issue there. John says, getting worried, no sale is going to happen the longer this saga drags out. Chris says, I can only imagine the protests. If it's not clarified by the Wolves game, protests will overshadow the game. I agree. And you know what, Chris? Rightly so. As much as I wouldn't want it affecting the game in any way in terms of the performance, I think if Manchester United hopefully get a win against Wolves opening day of the season, I think the protest should be the number one talking point, because we need to keep the pressure on, you know. Maybe 1958 protests, maybe relight the fire, says Katie. Party Pooper says, you think they'd take the money and go, considering how much they are hated by United fans. They're greedy bastards. That's basically it. You know, pardon my French, but they are. They're absolute greedy scumbags. That's all they are. They've done absolutely nothing for the club in 18, nearly 19, nearly 20 years. They've done nothing, only take money out of it. They've invested fuck all. They've invested none of their own money, and they can walk away with 5.5 billion. You know, take the money and off. You know. Aaron says 5 billion profit. Why haven't they took the money and F off? There we go as well. Chris says Glazers want 6 billion because NFL Washington Commanders were sold for 6 billion. Bilal says, according to that Ben Jacobs interview, we could see this sale going up to the close of the season in the month of May 2024. That means a football club sale would take 2 years. Chris says, Avram and Joel want to be billionaires. They're already billionaires. They want titles as a billionaire. A friend works in Tampa Bay front office and has said that's their pettiness. All right. Kotla's in as well. Good to see you, pal. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok here. We're reading out all of the YouTube comments. The United View says, love your lives from South Africa. Appreciate it, my friend. Everyone go follow the United View as well, guys. Appreciate it. Barney is in. He says, someone said 8 billion now. They'll never get 8 billion, Barney. Never. Mary says, Greenwood needs... Sorry, let me do that. So we're not off screen. Greenwood needs to go, says Mary. Nearly 2 years wasted at this stage. He lost his endorsement as a result. Barney says, how long did the sale of Newcastle take? 4 years. Well, I think the sale of Newcastle took so long because they couldn't really find a buyer for it. And then Saudi Arabia came in and just said, oh, we'll take it. Here's loads of money. Let's see. Ronnie says, rival teams don't want Greenwood back. They keep commenting negatively everywhere. He also says, let the boy play. We support our team and its success. Rival fans don't want Greenwood back. Everybody has their own opinion, but it's important that we respect everyone's opinion as well. So people might not agree with you, or people might agree with you, but Just respect everybody's opinion. That's the main thing. Thomas says, imagine we wouldn't pay 32 million for Haaland before the Dortmund transfer, but spend 72 on nobody. Let's see. Do you think these signings are too calm? Do you think these signings are to calm the protests or a sign that the sheiks are coming in? Well, I don't think it's a sign that Qatar are coming in. And I don't think it's a sign that they're trying to dampen the protests either. I think Erik ten Hag wants a number 9, and we're trying our we're trying our best to get it for him. So yeah, it's just, I mean, transfer window is the transfer window, Let's see. Football Edit says, what's your opinion on the agreement? Yeah, look, I gave my opinion multiple times. So we'll anyway. Abdul says, anyone know where I can get a ticket for the game in the Aviva? I have no idea. I've had people sending me messages all week asking me, and I really don't have any idea. So anyway, look, let's get into a bit of transfer news here, guys, and we'll talk about Amrabat as well. Amrabat rejects a Saudi bid, according to reports today. So basically, Saudi Arabia, a team in Saudi Arabia are looking to sign Amrabat. He said, absolutely no way. I don't want the money. He wants nothing other than Manchester United. And he's basically told Fiorentina he wants to leave and he wants a bid accepted, and he wants it accepted for Manchester United. This guy's desperate to play for Manchester United. He's desperate to play for Erik ten Hag again. And I think he probably will be a Manchester United player by the time the transfer window ends. Yeah, let's see what this report is saying here. The Moroccans' international standout performance in the 2002 World Cup has caught the attention of major clubs around the world. Saudi side Al Hilal, I think that's how you pronounce it, Al Hilal, extended an attractive offer, but Amrabat's affinity for Manchester United, having played under Erik ten Hag at FC Twente, appears to have sealed his intentions. United's pursuit of Amrabat has been carefully planned, with personal terms reportedly agreed. A formal bid to Fiorentina, rumoured to be around €25 million, is anticipated once the sale of Fred and Donny van de Beek are secured. Despite West Ham and Al Hilal's interest, the player's preference is Old Trafford, even if he might find himself backing up Casemiro. Expectations are high for the confirmation of Højlund signing by week's end, which we've got tonight. And the 20-year-old is said to make blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so basically, look, this is going to be Manchester United's next signing, all going well. Let's make sure that the fee is right between Atalanta and Manchester United. He's going to be playing for Manchester United next year. I have no doubt. I really don't. And look, I won't go into what we've said before previously, because if you've watched my lives, daily, you will know how much I rate him. I think he's a very good footballer. I think he'll be a fantastic signing for Manchester United. I think he's got a brilliant range of passing. He reads the game very well. He's fast. He's fucking strong in a tackle. And he's good in the air as well. So I think we're going to be getting a very good signing if we get him over the line. While it does remain that he's probably not going to be first choice. And that's okay, because we have said multiple occasions that Manchester United not only need to build a starting 11, but we need to build a squad this summer and over the next couple of summers. If you're going to be challenging with the likes of the Manchester Cities of the world, you're going to need 16 to 17 players that are first team capable and first team ready. And we don't really have that at the moment. We didn't have that last season. We had a very strong starting 11. But when we got a couple of injuries, then you're going back to relying on Fred. You're looking at Luke Shaw playing at centre back. You're, putting your hat on, Martial staying fit so you don't have to play about Weghorst. These types of things, So I think this will give us great stability in the midfield if we can go and get Amrabat done. You will have Kobe Mainoo there learning his trade as well, getting game time with Amrabat, Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Eriksen. That is a brilliant, brilliant midfield setup. If you had a midfield there now next season for 3 spots and you had Amrabat, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, Christian Eriksen, Mason Mount, and Bruno Fernandes, that is a goddamn good midfield options there. You know, it really is. I would be delighted with that. Buy Scott McTominay, buy Fred, and buy Donny van de Beek. Bye-bye. See you later. Get as much money as you can for him. Get him out the door. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. Thank you for your service. You know, really, really do appreciate everything you've done for the club. But the days of sentimentality at Manchester United are gone under Eric Ten Hag. It's time to get rid of players that are not good enough. Let's get players in that are, and let's kick on. I'm going to write down the time because I'm going to use that as a TikTok because I thought that was a very good little snippet. What do you guys think? Anyway, let me just jot that down there. Let's move it on. Some potential outgoings for Manchester United then. Let's get into this one. Hannibal Mabry. Manchester United have accepted a Premier League loan offer for Hannibal. So basically, Hannibal could join another Premier League club this summer. The report in question, courtesy of footballtransfers.com, states Manchester United have accepted a loan offer from Luton Town for academy graduate Hannibal Mabry. He spent last season on loan at the Championship side Birmingham. What did I just say there? Championship side Birmingham. He gained experience as a first team regular. He made 38 appearances in a competitive league division. So there we go. Supposedly Luton are looking for Hannibal this summer. And I think this is a very good move for him if he does go. The midfield six that I just mentioned there, is he going to get in ahead of any of them? Probably not. He had a very good preseason with Birmingham last year, played an awful lot of game time, 38 games. It's great experience for him. But now he's going to get it in the Premier League with Luton. You know, it doesn't really matter the side that you're going to. You would hope that the side he's going to play a style of football somewhere related to the club that he's currently at. Now, I don't really know what style of play Luton are going to play next season. I would assume it's going to be sitting on the edge of your box and maybe working off of counterattacks and things like that. So he's going to have his work cut out for him if he does go to Luton. It's going to be a difficult season, but he will learn a lot. He will toughen up. He will be playing against a higher standard of player week in, week out, and he will probably play 30 plus games next season in the Premier League, which he wouldn't get anywhere close to at Manchester United. So it's all relevant. It's all relevant, baby. You know, so I think that would be a great move for him. Hannibal has got the talent and the, well, maybe if I won't say talent just yet. I mean, the potential is there. He has got the potential to play for Manchester United. He had some good performances early in preseason this year. And last season, he had some good performances as well. So I think the fact that he's probably going to go out on another loan deal would be great for him, you know. So, yeah, happy days. Happy days. Let's see what people in the chat are saying here. John is saying they would have left well before now if they cared what the fans thought. This is about the Glazers. I'm not sure a protest would have any impact. Chris says a Glazer family is estimated value of 3.9 billion divided among 6 children. Avram and Joel want to be billionaires on their own. Sheer greed. Absolutely. Party Pooper says anywhere good to grab a bite before the match Sunday. Look, a quick search on Google Maps will tell you that. I think I might go to maybe Jack Ryan's. They do a good pint of Guinness, I heard. So Chris says, bring me Amrabat. Let's go. Positive vibes. Aaron says, another player wanting Manchester United. So refreshing. It really is, isn't it? Love the enthusiasm, says Chris. Bilal says, Ahmad will play for United next season. Hopefully he gets fit and plays under Eric Ten Hag. Nice little segue. He is set. Ahmad is set to miss the start of the season after his knee injury in preseason training. It's reported. So the 21-year-old was among the absentees in Sunday's 3-2 defeat. So he is. We haven't really got a time frame on it. As usual, Eric Ten Hag doesn't give too much away when it comes to injury return dates, whether that will be to keep pressure off of the player or to keep pressure off of keep pressure off of the club from the media to get him back if you give it a set date. So I think it's right. So yeah, Ahmad will miss the start of the season due to that injury. Cottle says Amrabat is going to be a better signing than Mount, in my opinion. I think Mount will surprise us, says Party People. I think Mount is going to be a good signing. I do. Chris says, remember the Ranić 4-2-2-2. LOL. Shaw, Martinez, Varane, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, then Casemiro and Amrabat. Then Bruno and Mount. Then Rashford and Højlund. Here we go. Bring back Ralph Ranić just to play that formation. Owen says, what's the story with Ahmad? Yeah, we just said that there, so hopefully you heard that one. Aaron says, I think bringing Amrabat is great. Gives us a chance to rest Casemiro a bit more than we did last season. Casemiro's experience is so important to us in the huge games, and also playing together is. Yeah, and I think not only resting Casemiro, but I think bringing in Amrabat will also allow us to play him and Casemiro together in your heavy hit games away at the Etihad or away at Anfield, where, you don't want to be going all guns blazing, attacking, and then getting scotched 7-0 again, So it gives us good options. It really does. Let's see. Cottle says, I love Hannibal, but can't see him having a future at United. Too much competition with Manu coming through and potentially signing Amrabat. Arsenal for Life says, are you watching us defeat City on Sunday? I would rather watch... I was going to say something filthy there, but I won't. Yeah, I will not be watching that because I will be in Dublin watching Manchester United live. So, yeah. We're going to lift another trophy. Yeah, well, it's the only one you're going to be lifting this summer or this season. So, yeah. Alex says it's probably going to be a weak team going to Dublin. Reports are suggesting that it's going to be a hybrid team, both in Dublin and in Old Trafford the day before. So we're going to have first team players in both, whether it's Maguire and Lindelof in Old Trafford, then Varane and Martinez in Dublin. I have a feeling, and I hope I'm right with this, but I have a feeling it's going to be a stronger team in Dublin than it is in Manchester, because it will be 8 days between the game in Dublin and our first league game. So I think if it was me as a manager, I would say, well, I want the last game of pre-season. I want my main players playing there because I want them getting game time as soon to the start of the season as possible, without it obviously being the day before or anything like that. I would say, okay, well, would I rather leave the majority of my starting 11 play in a game that's 9 days away from the start of the season or 8 days away from the start of the season? I would go with the 8 days if I was a manager. But again, look, I'm not. That's the reason why I'm not a manager, but maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, I have a feeling we'll see a decent side in the Aviva on Sunday. Cottle says the Community Shield trophy is on the same level as the Bangkok Century Cup. Christopher says, do you ever watch matches at Old Trafford? I do. I've got a cup season ticket, so I'm going to be going to all of the Champions League games this season, and then if we get a couple of FA Cup or Carabao Cup games at home, I'll be going to them as well. If I can afford it. I do have a second child on the way in October as well, so needs must. I might not be able to get to all of them. City going to run over Arsenal 3-0. No Jesus, Havertz at striker. Laugh my ass off, says Chris. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal are in big trouble already with Jesus being injured for the start of the season. Chris says, our first team needs to get 60 minutes to gel. Rashford is not in form. His touches inside the box are off. He should have at least 2 goals this tour. I wouldn't worry about pre-season when it comes to, I have heard of people worried about Rashford and, worried about Luke Shaw and players like that. I'm not overly concerned about it. Pre-season is so hectic. All of the travel, you're not playing with a settled 11 all of the time. And, pre-season is all about getting your fitness. We have no idea. They could have been doing 60-minute sprint runs in the morning before they were playing in the evening. So that has known to be done. So there we go. Owen says, if we get Amrabat, do you think we will make a title charge? Look, I think I don't want to I hope we're there. You know, I'm not going to, you know, turn into Jonathan Marley here and say, you know, 21 is happening this season, because I'm realistic. You know, I'm sane. I think I just want us to be there, and I said it at the start or in the middle of the season last year, when we went on that kind of little bit of a run, kind of before the World Cup, and then after the World Cup, we really kicked on. I said, and people were talking about a title charge, and I said, just bloody relax for a few minutes, just be there, and if City mess up, then be ready to you know, to take advantage, you know. But let's not get too carried away with going, you know, we're going to challenge for the title this season. We're going to have a 20-year-old playing up front, and we don't know how he's going to settle in. We need to give him time. We have a brand new goalkeeper, and it's going to completely change the way we've played last year. We've got a backup striker who can't stay fit in Martial. We've got a winger in Anthony who needs to improve on last season. We've got a centre-back partnership that's very, very good, but Varane tends to get injured a bit. So we have to take everything with a pinch of salt here. You know, let's not get too carried away. Let's see how we go. We don't want to turn into the United meme channel where we go, we're going to win the league. We're going to win and then all of a sudden you're clipped up and you're put all over the internet. You know what I mean? I don't want to turn into AFTV here or anything either. So as much as I enjoy watching content like that, I want to stay realistic here as well, you know, and we'll stay positive. We will always stay positive. I don't want to be the United negative channel, you know. We try and see the silver lining in the majority of things. So while I think it's going to be a very positive season for United, and I hope it's and listen, I want us to win the league next year, but I'm also realistic, and I think it would be extremely difficult given how good City are. But outside of City, I mean, if City have a bad season, I think we're there. I think it's there for the taking, because you will see probably us fighting it out then with Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea maybe. But we just need to be there. Just be there. If City have one of them seasons where they make a hash of it, you don't want to be 10 points behind, or you don't want to be, you know, City on 30 points or City on 70 points, Arsenal and Liverpool on 68, and then we're back on 57. You know, you don't want to see that. You want to be there ready to pounce. If Alex says, do you think you'll get anyone else instead of Amrabat? We'll get Amrabat. Congratulations on the new baby. Appreciate it, Christopher. Chris says, baby Sancho or Sancha on the way. Onana's distribution against Dortmund was ridiculous. Did you see the punt to Rashford that hit him in his stride? It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alex says, I like how Højlund has scored 9 goals last year, but a striker can help the team a lot in the way they play. I'm wrong. Yeah, so look, I mean, Højlund scored 20-something goals last season if you count all competitions, both for club and country, I think. So yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Give him time. Just back him. Chris says, you start saying blood at the end of every sentence. I am out. I didn't say blood. Did I? I didn't say blood. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. Oh, sorry. In terms of AFTV, I get you. Don't worry. That annoys me too. It's a London kind of thing, though. Cottle says, a bad season for City is a good season for anyone else. Absolutely. And Owen says, I don't think City will win the league. Lost loads of great players and haven't really signed many to replace. Well, it looks like Gvardiol is done and dusted. And Dale says, you all set for Sunday, ready to go. I'm going to be wearing that jersey right there on Sunday. So yeah, looking forward to it. Let's see what people on TikTok are saying here. Thanks everybody for the gifts as well. It's much appreciated. Please do hit the like and subscribe button as well, guys. If you haven't already done so on YouTube, please do hit the like button. We've only got 13 likes and 23 people watching. Take a second, hit them thumbs up button. Let's get up to 20 likes before the end. Hit subscribe as well if you haven't already done so and you're new to the channel. I do appreciate it. So yeah, let's see. So Parker says there, what the fuck is after happening to that light? Parker says he has a spare ticket to the game in Dublin if anyone is interested. So there we go. Hit him up. Thomas says the YouTube channel seems to be more of a priority. Man loves the sound of his own voice. Well, jog on then, Thomas, and watch someone else, man. I couldn't give a toss, to be quite honest. Let's see. I'd settle for third or fourth, says Martin. Michael says Gary O'Driscoll should help Martial and co. Top four will be fine. Michael, thanks for the gift. Barney says, I'd be worried about Varane being a new sick note. Let's see what happens. Outside the top six is unacceptable, says Benny. Neither Liverpool or Chelsea will make top four, says Michael. And Jay says Amrabat will join as soon as Fred and Donny leave. Benny says, I'm after losing that one. Where was it? 23 goals in 27 matches in all competitions. Looking forward to seeing Bruno as per full-time captain. Let's see. I think we need a more experienced striker as well, says Connor. Let's see. Sandy says, what do you think of the leaked white third kit? It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So it is. Connor, don't spam the chat. I'm after reading your message. You'll get blocked. Do you know what? You're getting blocked for that. You got one more chance. Don't spam the chat like that again. I'm afraid you'll be blocked. When does the transfer window close? 1st of September, I think. 1st of September, I think. So yeah, look, I mean, nice live. I've enjoyed it. Really appreciate everybody for watching. Like I said, hit the like and subscribe button. Anybody that is in Dublin on Sunday for the game, come up and say hello. I'll be there. I'll be doing a match day vlog for it. So if you see this this GoPro in my hand, then and you want to be on the blog, come up and say hello, and we'll ask you a few questions, get you on the vlog. So yeah, look, really appreciate everybody for watching, guys. Hope to see you all Sunday. Again, look, we'll be back tomorrow for the our usual show again at 7:30. Keep an eye out as well, guys. At lunchtime every day, I am putting up a kind of a mini news show. It's pre-recorded, so we put it up as a premiere today, so you can actually put in comments live. I don't be live on it, but you can comment live with people who are watching it as well. So if you're on your lunch and you want to get the morning news, the afternoon news, we put that live up on YouTube as well at 1 o'clock every day. So hit the bell notification if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Anybody on TikTok that's not, make sure you get over to the YouTube channel and hit subscribe. The link is on my homepage, United Community Channel. Hit subscribe over there. Loads of content in terms of the news every day. Like I said, if you're on your lunch at 1 o'clock every day, or 2 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, or whenever it may be, give it a watch, hit a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below because it helps out the channel an awful lot. It really, really does. Anyway, but yeah, happy days. Appreciate everybody watching. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow night. Take it easy. Good luck.